Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis track that was created for a client that had very, very big goals and were feeling as if they were beyond reach, or perhaps that they didn't even deserve to have these kind of wonderful things. So there were two key themes that were linked to this particular client's life. One is that they wanted to really have an impact in the world by having respect and recognition within their niche. They wanted to be an author, a thought leader, and they wanted to be known for what their expertise was, which is a very, noble goal. And I think goals that lead to the improvement of the life to other people tend to make people feel more resourceful because there's a feeling of contribution, and that was a wonderful goal. And there was another theme in their life that was based on a level of living standards. So they wanted a home by the beach, they wanted nice things, they wanted a high income. And a lot of people feel that there's sometimes something kind of bad or immoral about wanting nice things. And that's simply a belief system, and it can be a really disempowering belief system. So what this session is all about is about feeling worthy and deserving of accomplishing what you want. And some of the references are going to relate to the locations that this client was living in or wanted to live in, or their endeavors, like being a respected leader in their industry. These might not necessarily be your goals, but the essence of this is that if you're listening to this, you deserve to have nice things, and you deserve to achieve the level of success that you desire. And one of the interesting things is that there was a belief system with this particular client that they grew up in a household where things were given to them if they were good. And there was a belief that in order to be successful, you have to be a good person with good intentions. And while that is certainly desirable, I would say what's more important is that there's a level of work ethic and competency that is proportionate to the goals that you're setting. And again, that is alluded to in this hypnosis session. You can want to be an astronaut, and you might feel like you deserve to be an astronaut because you're a good person. But unless you're studying astrophysics, and unless you're on a pathway that could lead you to a major space agency, whether or not you deserve it or not is almost immaterial. It's, are you doing what's necessary? So there's a lot in this particular hypnosis session that is designed to achieve good things, but also do it in a realistic, credible way, so that, yes, you can have the life that you want, but that doesn't mean you get it for free. It requires work ethic, it requires clarity, and it requires competency in the key areas. Wanting to be a thought leader is one thing. Becoming a thought leader is something else, where you're actually known for being very knowledgeable and credible in your particular area. But that requires study, that requires work, that requires critical thinking. So lots going on in this session, but I think it will be useful for you. Obviously, it was created for someone else. So if you are interested in something a bit more bespoke that is designed for you and your needs, there will be a link in the show notes that you can schedule a free consultation call with me. In the meantime, though, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow any feelings of worry, stress or tension to leave your body in your outward breath. As you continue to breathe in and breathe out, just get a growing sense that resourceful feelings like creativity, empowerment, self-belief are flowing into your body, and any feelings of stress and tension are leaving your body in that outward breath. So as you breathe in and breathe out, you're feeling more and more resourceful and letting go of more and more feelings of stress and tension. Continue to breathe in and breathe out, positioning your body in such a way that you can relax. If your eyes aren't already closed, on the next inward breath, breathe in that feeling of resourcefulness, and as you exhale, just allow your eyelids to close. And as they close, I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a beautiful place, perhaps in San Francisco, maybe on the bay, maybe a park, maybe somewhere else, but perhaps a place that you've been to, or a place that you've seen, or maybe just an idea of what it would be like. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine that you're there, in that place. And I want you to get a growing sense of feeling connected to a dream. I want you to think of what dreams are important to you. I want you to think that there was a time in your life where you had also big dreams, but perhaps you had no idea at that point in time how you would ever achieve them. And I want you to think back to an age where you had ambitions, desires, maybe an idea of what you wanted to do in the world, but had no idea how you would achieve it. And I want you to picture that person. Imagine there you are in San Francisco, thinking back to that point, that time in your life. And I want you to imagine that you're going back in time as the person that you are now. Going back to perhaps you when you were maybe in your late teens or early 20s. Maybe just getting started in study or career. And I want you to imagine meeting them in a place of just you two. Maybe a coffee shop. Maybe in a building that you knew well back then. And I want you to explain to that version of you in your early 20s how far you've come, what you've been able to do so far. But I also want you to paint a picture for them of where you're heading, those things that you want to do, those things that you feel will have an impact in the world. And I want you to judge their facial expressions. Get a sense that perhaps they're proud of you for what you've already done, but also are amazed at the size of those goals and those dreams that you're still pursuing. And I want you to ask that version of you in your early 20s, what would success look like? What would it take to feel successful? And as you hear their words, don't be surprised if in many areas of your life you've already exceeded a definition of success that you had at one time in your life. And sometimes it's natural for humans to move the goalposts. That as we achieve more and more, we just set bigger and bigger goals. But that can feel like we're never good enough, that we're not where we want to be. But I wonder what it would feel like to feel that you've already exceeded the wildest expectations in many areas of your life that you had at one point in your life. And therefore, everything else could be seen as a bonus, a free ride. You're already exceeding your expectations. I want you to imagine that younger version of you in your early 20s has some resource that would be highly useful for you right now. Maybe it's self-belief. Maybe it's gratitude. But I want you to imagine they're giving you a gift of a resource state that would be highly useful for you right now. But also I want you to imagine that you're giving them something, and maybe what you're giving them is the belief that they can do more than they think they can. I want you to give that younger version of you a hug, say goodbye, and then imagine you're back there in San Francisco. And I want you to imagine you're looking up at the sky. And sometimes when we get lost in a thought, we can be looking at the outside world, but be experiencing an inside world, a state of reverie, a state of dreams. And I want you to paint a picture of what your future could be like. Not that it has to be that way, but just imagine the most desirable future for you. Perhaps you could see that, but I want you to see it like you're someone else. See a future version of you doing what you'd like to do in your career. Maybe you can see yourself with growing recognition, seen as an authority, a thought leader, an expert. That people seek you out for your advice, your wisdom, your unique perspective. I also want you to imagine where you're living at some point in the future. Maybe you can see yourself living in a beautiful property by the sea. I want you to get a sense that this is possible for you. As you get a growing sense of what your future could be like, I want you to focus on the details as you start to listen to suggestions directly communicated at the subconscious mind, the part that perhaps for a while now has been believing that in order to have nice things, you need to be a good person. Or perhaps you feel that at some level, people like you don't deserve the very best in life. As you look at your future and your career, your relationships, your material success, your financial success, you focus on the details while you're listening to suggestions aimed directly at your subconscious mind. You are a valuable and deserving person. You deserve success and happiness in your life. You are worthy of love and acceptance. You have unique talents and skills that make you incredibly valuable to the world. You have a purpose in life and deserve to fulfill it. I want you to notice how you feel as you let go of any self-doubt or limiting beliefs about your worth, and accept that you can trust in your abilities and in your own worthiness. I want you to say to yourself, just in your own inner dialogue, I am enough just as I am. Really feel that you can let go of any feelings of inadequacy or not being good enough. You are deserving of respect and appreciation. As you focus on the details of your life, maybe the car you're driving, the life partner that you're with, maybe the garden attached to that beautiful home, accept that you can see and own strengths, and you appreciate yourself. See yourself full of gratitude for what you've accomplished in life. You can let go of any negative self-talk and allow that critical inner voice to be a champion, a voice of encouragement rather than a critic. You can embrace self-compassion and kindness towards yourself. And you can appreciate yourself for who you are, not just what you do. Maybe in childhood, you were taught that in order to be worthy, you have to do certain things or meet certain rules. But I want you to now accept that you can feel confident in your abilities and in your own worthiness. And you can let go of any comparison to others and appreciate your own unique qualities and attributes. You can trust that you have everything you need within you to succeed. You already know that failure is elusive to you, which means success is always within reach. And that means that you are already deserving of all the good things in your life and all the good things that will come into your life. I want you to recognize your own worth and value, your own audit of all those things that you feel are valuable. And I want you to accept the suggestion that those things will always be valuable, no matter what other people may think. And I want you to accept that you can embrace a positive and empowering view of yourself and your future. And I want you to again focus on that internal representation of you in the future. I want you to see yourself not with just these trappings of success, but with the qualities required to be successful. Some people believe that in order to have good things, they need to be deserving. But one of the key things that facilitates achieving goals and dreams is simply doing what's necessary, including any sacrifices or trade-offs required to do that thing. I want you to see that version of you in the future with those qualities that mean that even if they lost important things, a relationship ends, see yourself with the qualities that could find an even better relationship. That if a career project or goal doesn't quite go to plan, see yourself as the version that would have the level of resilience, that bounce back ability, to simply come back even stronger than you were before. I want you to see yourself enjoying the lifestyle, but without losing the hunger. I want you to see a version of you that loves playing the game, loves doing the things, not simply doing them to get something, but doing them because you enjoy the process just as much as you enjoy the rewards. And when you see that version of yourself with the qualities, but also with the results of those qualities, I want you to imagine stepping into that future version of you, feeling what it feels like to have those attributes already within you. feel how good it feels to have that element of gratitude, that self-belief, and a feeling of deserving and worthiness. Take all of those wonderful feelings and then take them back to the present, and really feel that you're listening to my voice now, firmly in the present wherever you are right now. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, get a sense that all parts of you are back there in the present, listening to me right now. As I count from 1 to 10, to awaken you, you will awaken feeling resourceful, motivated, inspired, but most of all worthy and deserving. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.